Now, understand morality is usually defined in terms of human rights, and nowhere in the Old Covenant are human rights once mentioned or really even alluded to. But on the contrary, if you look close enough, the tale of Abraham and Isaac proves that Yahweh's only priority was in obtaining our blind obedience, in spite of the morality. Now, some people involved in religion say that the Bible is where they learn how to be good people. Yet, on the other hand, it's the same religion that has caused unthinkable evil. The Crusades, the Inquisition, the witch trials, tortured, maimed, and killed millions. Do it in the name of freedom. And every one of these conquerors were motivated by their religious beliefs. Instead of high ethics and justice, in the books of Yahweh, he condones and encourages human acts no person of conscience these days would ever even consider. For example, this is what the book commands, or did. Yahweh killed the firstborn humans and animals in the entire Egyptian nation, and commanded that the event be celebrated every year as Passover. He didn't accept dwarfs, and people with flat noses, or the lame with broken feet, and unrounded corners and beards. Oh my. And all people other than one race, basically, in disfavor. So the Jews, who, not so coincidentally, are the ones who wrote these words down. Yahweh said people were condemned for 10 generations if they have mutilated sex organs or are of illegitimate birth. But now, hang on a second. Isn't this the same guy who said cut off the ends of what?
Yeah, we got to cut it anyway. Yeah.
But therefore condemning them because it's mutilated.
So it's it. Yeah. Yes, good point.
Yeah. So Yahweh killed people for making an ointment, burning incense, taking a census where 75,000 people were slaughtered for not cutting off the ends of young boys' penises, much less just plain for eating fat. Man, we're all in trouble. Yahweh killed thousands for looking in a box, the one that contained his laws. He forced children to wander and die in the wilderness for 40 years because of the sins of their parents. And Yahweh commanded unbelievers to be killed. Yahweh also orders young boys who disobey their parents or curse them to be stoned to death. He starved people and opened the earth to swallow them when they desired to eat. And he sent a plague to kill thousands more who complained about it. Yahweh killed people for working and gathering sticks because they were profaning the Sabbath. And Jesus said the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Bada boom. He introduced snakes to bite people and sent bears out of the woods to tear apart 42 children who called a man bald-headed. Yeah, they're mocking the prophet. He sent a famine that forced people to eat their children and beheaded 70 innocent sons and put their heads in a pile as a lesson. Yahweh tells men to kill their wives, even if they're pregnant, and children and friends if they disagree with them on religion. Commands no mercy be given, and is wrathful if lives are spared. He also condoned Jael lying to a man and then drove a tent peg into his temple while he slept. And he also seems to be partial to one race, and keeps them in good graces if they commit murder and bash babies to the ground and rip open pregnant women. And Yahweh condemns the practice of incest, adultery, genocide, sexism, keeping concubines, although King Solomon had 300. He even condones keeping and beating slaves, with the only limitation being not to injure their eyes or their teeth. Yeah, well. Now this kind of stuff runs throughout the Torah. He commanded the Jews to slaughter entire cities and steal all their goods, to kill and maim the animals, but keep alive the young virgin maidens for, what seems to be nefarious reasons. Now, if any of us think he changed his mind by having himself incarnated in the form of a loving Jesus, if you think that way, I suppose he tortured himself to death as well. Now, look, does any of this sound like an all-loving God? Let's finish with something positive from the New Covenant. We know how much God loves us, and we have put our trust in his love. God is love, and all who live in love live in God, and God lives in them. Gotta love. 1 John. And this verse is certainly not talking about Yahweh, and certainly didn't see a lot of morality there.
Certainly wasn't moral, was it?